Welcome to the Sports Betting Preview Show, a pregame.com podcast. He's Vegas Runner. I'm Marco D'Angelo, your host. We're going to take a look at a Friday NBA game. Big game, ESPN Friday night, Dallas at Atlanta. Vegas Runner, as we always do, we talk about the numbers. Now, so you guys know, we're taping this podcast on Thursday, correct. So there is no official line out yet. We're going to tell you what we think the line is going to be, and then we're going to handicap the game accordingly. And VR, what do you got for us?
I made my line as if everybody's going to play, because right now they're saying Caron Butler has the flu. He's not 100%. He may go. He may not go. I made Atlanta a 4-point home favorite, and I made the total 196. That's my true line. I could see them coming out a little bit lower even because how good Dallas has looked since the trade, since the All-Star break. Their defense is incredible, and they just not dismantled, but they just beat the Western Conference's best team on national television. You know, the Los Angeles Lakers just last night.
Well, anytime that, when you have these trades like we've had, at the trade deadline, there's an adjustment period, both for the bookmaker and for the handicappers ourselves. And I actually have Atlanta at -5 in the game. I'm a little bit higher than you, but again, it's a read on how well we, where we put Dallas
and
at.
If Butler don't play, I think you're right. It may go to 5 because, yesterday they had to replace him most of the game and stuff. So
here's the other part of it is that since the trade,
he didn't play, I don't think.
Honestly, I didn't watch last night's game, so I didn't see
I know Stevenson played a long time, so I didn't see the beginning of it.
The other point of it being with Dallas since the trade, in that they did have the big win on Wednesday night against the Lakers. Yeah. They did catch the Lakers in a great situation. The Lakers had played the night before in Memphis, had to win on a not a buzzer beater, but 4 seconds left. Kobe had to bail him out again, drilling a three.
I agree, and it was Dallas's statement game. And I did the podcast with Dan and Mike yesterday morning, and that was actually the game we previewed, and we sealed the pick on Dallas. And I thought it was just a great spot for the Mavericks last night. It was the showcase, their trade. And since their trade, this team's played great defense. Going into the break, Marco, they let out 117 points twice, 111 points. Since the break, they haven't allowed anyone to score 100 points on them.
Actually, they've held 6 straight teams to under 100 points.
Yeah.
And one of them being, the Lakers.
Yeah,
so
they're playing great defense. And I think what it is, too, Butler and Hayward coming from the graveyard, like I say, of Washington, and already given up on the season. Now, all of a sudden, they have playoff aspirations. Even, who knows, they may even do something in the playoffs. So I think they've given the whole team a little shot in the arm to say, let's play. We got a great team right now out there on the court. They have the kind of owner, I think, that motivates them that way. So I think they're playing great ball.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, though. I mean, absolutely, the Mark Cuban, the owner of the Mavericks, is the type of owner, he very controversial, he says what he thinks, he has no problems with that.
When you're that rich, you could.
You can, but, he is somebody that players do want to go because he is, he's not afraid to spend money to get things to happen, and he wants to have a winner. That's his nature.
And since he's had kids, they say he's meddled, like he's more relaxed, like he don't take losses. Like he used to take losses really bad. I mean, the guy would go to bad states of depression and be a very mean...
He could never be a handicapper,
a very mean person, they said, when he lost. He did not handle it well. But now that he has his little family, he gets over it a lot easier, they say.
But like you said, the second part of that, Hayward, Butler, Stevenson, for these guys to come from a losing team that, you're playing, it's... Coming out of the All-Star break, you're playing for the Wizards.
You drive into the arena, whether you win or lose, is it going to make any difference in the big picture? All you're doing is playing for stats.
It's like finding the fountain of youth for these guys.
They're
definitely.
You're driving to the arena and you're looking at the standings. All of a sudden, they matter. You know?
But here's the uncharted water. We've got the new team. We've got the new chemistry. They seem to be gelling, and they're playing well. So everything looks to be good. Now, here's the new test. This is going to be the first time that the new collection of players will be playing following a big win.
Yeah. And
so
this one's on the road against a team that just don't lose at home. I think Atlanta has one of the people give them no respect because everyone knows the big three in the East: Boston, Cleveland, Orlando. And Atlanta's always left out of that conversation. And this is a team that's 6 years in the making. That head coach, when he went there, said, in 4 years, if I don't get this team to the playoffs, you guys get rid of me, because I think we have that kind of talent. And all these guys, the Johnsons, they've all matured now. I mean, they're at a level where they think they could win.
They're still viewed as a young team, because all the other teams are, veterans in there. This, as you said, I mean, they've made the playoffs the last couple of years. They've always given somebody trouble in a run.
7 games,
So they're starting to look, there's phases. I mean, it's just like a kid, he has to crawl before he walks and walks before he runs.
Exactly.
This team is making those steps to, growing into a playoff team that if they keep this collection of players together, this is going to be one of your teams that we're talking about the next 2 or 3 years.
They have with Smith and Williams and Horford and Johnson and, Bibby now, running the point, whatever. I mean, this team is pretty strong. I like them a lot, to be honest with you, and they get no respect, Marco. That's why this is my free pick for this week.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's get into it.
I'm going to tell you straight out, I like Atlanta. As long as this line comes out 5 or less, I'm willing to lay it, because I really think that on a neutral court, these are as even as they get, and I might even give the nod to Atlanta, to be honest with you. I mean, I love the trade for Dallas, but again, before the trade, Dallas wasn't one of the top 3 teams in the West, where you could make an argument for Atlanta being one of the top 3 in the East. They could give Boston, Cleveland, or Orlando trouble any night of the week. So I really think, looking at this team and how big of a home court edge they have, I'm willing to lay them those kind of points. And again, for Atlanta, this is a big game. It's a statement game almost for them, because they just got by Minnesota last night, barely. And their previous home game, they got blown out by like 20. And this is a team who's 22-6 at home. So, I mean, I think we're going to get a little line value here, too. And Dallas, 18-12 on the road. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're above 500, play okay. But I think this is going to be a tough game for them. And Atlanta already beat them in Dallas, so they showed they could handle this team.
Well, and it was a very low-scoring game in Dallas, 80-75. One thing I'll touch upon with the Atlanta close game last night, and it's something that I did the podcast today with Mike and Dan, and it's something that I always talk about. Teams that return home off of road trips, that first game home, they have more of a tendency to put in, that lackadaisical type play.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning and not covering last night. But what you end up having is, because of that close game and that first game back, you get a little more line value from Vegas, and you get focus from the team. So all the pieces are in place for you. I got to agree. I don't have an official play on this game. I lean to Atlanta with you. I like your free pick.
I do. And the last thing I want to add is Nowitzki, Marion, Jason Kidd, they all played 40-plus minutes against the Lakers. And they're only going to have one night off. So I think Atlanta's going to be a little fresher, even though they played last night, going against Minnesota, and the players
right. Well, they don't have to travel. They don't have to travel,
exactly.
and they were,
So I think it's a good spot for Atlanta to be up around what you need, foul shots at the end, and extend it closer to double digits. And I'm going to stamp it as my free pick.
VR's free pick, and I got to wrap it up. His free picks are 16, 5, and 1. So he knows what he's doing. That's Vegas Runner. This is going to wrap up, and we have a new feature. You can go to pregame.tv, and if you go to the comment section, you can make a prediction on the final score. If you get it correct, we'll give you $100 in pregame dollars to use to buy anybody here at pregame. So check that out. This is our first video of the week. We'll have 4 more videos checking out games for Saturday and Sunday. Be sure to check all those at pregame.tv. And you can always download and listen. Go to iTunes and search for pregame.